right, so welcome. My name is Sarah, and I wanted to create a sequence that would help strengthen your arms. Not only weight bearing on the arms, but also moving your arms through space and in a way creating strength in the shoulder joint. So this practice is technically all levels, but I would say it's on the most vigorous side. I think it's going to take an hour. It might take a little more than an hour. Uh, the most important thing is that you listen to your body. So especially if you're a beginning student, if you start feeling overwhelmed, just take a break. If your wrists start hurting, skip the weight bearing on the arms, do things on the forearms. But I'll try to provide all the different variations so that you feel like you can support yourself in this practice. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So you're gonna come to laying on your back. Also, if you're a beginning student and you have two blocks, go ahead, get those, set them up near the top of the mat. If you don't have access to props, you'll be fine. So laying on the back, and if when you stretch your legs out, it's a little hard on your low back, bend the knees, plant the feet on the floor, pigeon toe the feet, and rest your knees against each other. Bring both of your hands onto your stomach. Allow the hands to be in a place where you feel like you can rest your elbows on the floor and you feel comfortable. Lift your chest up slightly and take your shoulder blades onto your back so you feel a sense of support, opening the heart space, and a relaxation through the sides of the neck and shoulders. Bring your mind, your attention onto the feeling of your breath. As you inhale, feel your abdomen rising under your hands. And as you exhale, feel the abdomen soften back down. And take a couple of breaths just like this, breathing into the lowest part of your lungs. Your breath is closely tied to your emotional state. A lot of times when we feel anxious or frustrated, when we feel like we have a short fuse, it's because we're not breathing as deep as feels good, that we're not taking in that nourishment of oxygen that our body needs. And so our nervous system gets a little on edge. Bring both of your hands a little higher onto your rib cage, below the chest. And now as you inhale, breathe out into your hands, open up the ribs. And as you exhale, feel the ribs draw back in. And keep going, feel these rib cage opening breaths. Another reason why we might feel anxious or frustrated is because the energy of the heart is closing down. There's a sense of fear or anger that's coming into the experience. And so one thing we'll explore today is by strengthening the arms, by strengthening the shoulders, will help to stimulate the energy of the heart through the arms. And by taking these nourishing breaths, will also help stimulate the energy of the heart through the element of air. So remember too, if you get frustrated in this practice, take a break, find the breath again. That way you can work gradually towards these poses. If your arms are comfortable, keep them where they are. Otherwise, relax your arms where it's most comfortable. And before we start to move, we'll take 3 breaths together. So drink in a deep inhale through your nose and sigh it out the mouth. Inhale through both nostrils. And let it go. And then one more, your deepest inhale. And sigh. On your next exhale, hug your knees into your chest and rock a little side to side to help loosen up your back, massaging your back against the floor. And I just want to make a note that when you're doing these poses, you might think, oh, it's a spiritual bypassing because I'm trying to relax myself with my breath, and maybe there's something that's really wrong. So just to note that if something is really wrong in your life that you need to change, I hope you feel empowered to change it rather than just trying to breathe through it. Okay, that being said, let's get started. Flex your feet straight up to the ceiling. If the hamstrings are tight, have a bend in the knees. Interlace your hands behind the head with the elbows wide. Inhale on the mat, and as you exhale, lift your shoulder blades up. Inhale, lay the spine down, and as you exhale, lift the spine up. So keep going, follow the rhythm of the breath, keeping your elbows wide, shoulder blades towards each other. If this feels okay on your neck, switch the way the arms are. Reach your arms up and try to touch your toes. This is less about actually touching the toes and more about getting that reach through the fingertips, feeling the sense of the front of the chest contracting and engaging the arms into this experience of working the stomach. Let's do this for 10. Press your lower belly down, 9. For 8, you could look at your toes for your drishti, 7, maybe closing the eyes, 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, give yourself one more little squeeze, and then hug the knees into the chest. You can feel that spiciness in the stomach. Inhale through the nose, and sigh it out the mouth. Okay, one more kind of abs. Flex the feet up to the ceiling. Interlace your hands behind the head with the elbows wide. Lower your left leg, and if you have a sensitive low back, keep the left leg kind of high. And if your low back feels okay and you have a strong stomach, hover the left heel just above the floor. Move your right heel towards your face. Inhale on the mat, and as you exhale, lift and twist over to the right. Inhale, center, and exhale, lift and twist to the right. So keep going. You're squeezing through your side abdominals to create this movement. For those of you that want to engage the arms into the experience, reach your arms up over your head, and then reach both arms up and over to the right. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, lift, reach both to the right. Let's do this for 10, for 9, for 8, 7, 6, strong exhale, 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, give yourself one more little squeeze, hug the knees into the chest. You can feel the asymmetry in the abdominals. Take a cleansing breath. Again, moving the energy, circulating the energy. Arm, legs up. Split the legs. Right leg comes down to the height that feels good on your low back. Interlace the hands behind the head. Inhale on the mat, and as you exhale, lift and twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, lift and twist left. So keep going. Flex through both feet. Kick out through the heels. Those of you that feels okay on the neck, additional arm strengthening. Arms up over the head. Lift and twist, reaching to your left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach. 10. For 9. For 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. Almost there. 3. For 2. Give yourself one more little squeeze. Hug the knees into the chest. Feel that sense of tension dissipate from the body. Inhale through the nose. Sigh it out the mouth. Okay, catch under your legs, rock up and down your spine, or if your spine is sensitive, roll to one side, and then come into all fours position, tabletop pose. Stack your arm bones in a line, and knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingers and equidistant away from each other. Point your pointer fingers forward so that your wrist creases are parallel to the short end of the mat. Inhale, back bend cow. Feel your shoulder blades go down the back, broaden. Exhale, forward round cat. Push the floor away and find space inside of your shoulder joints. Inhale, back bend cow. Grip the floor with the hands, pull back. Exhale, forward round cat. Push the floor away. Feel that rebound effect to the arms. And so keep going. Again, right, the frustration comes up, and take every moment you can to reconnect with the feeling of the breath. Cooling the mind, cooling the body. Another thing that's useful here is to tend the fingertips up. So imagine you had an orange underneath your hands, and this is going to help you build finger strength. When you have strong fingers, it helps to protect your wrists. This is also a good alternative if the wrists get tender. You can do stuff on the fingertips if they feel strong enough. Another good thing to do here, flatten the palms and then spin your hands out, right, like a seal pup, and then fingertips pointing back towards the knees and stretching your forearms and your wrist. Cat-cow cycles here if it feels good for the body. And then one more type of wrist stretch. Turn the hands back around, fingers pointing forward, and then take the bone side of the hand onto the floor. Some folks feel good doing both hands at once, and then other times that's a little too intense, so you can just do one at a time, opening and closing the fingers. Once you've stretched out both of your wrists, you'll walk your hands forward of the shoulders, maybe about 2-3 inches. Again, pointer fingers forward, fingers spread out, curl your toes, lift up, down dog pose. Bend one knee at a time to help loosen up the backs of the legs. And a lot of times what I see is sometimes when people's hamstrings are tight, they're gonna come more forward like this. So if you find yourself, you're more in a plank, bend your knees and really push your butt up in the air, like as high as you can. The other kind of interesting or complicated thing in down dog is what's happening in the shoulder joint. So if you're not sure, you can look up here, right? The external rotation of your upper arm bones. So you're gonna take your outer upper arms back, your inner arms moving forward, keep pressing the palms flat, and even though you're pushing the floor away from you, relax the sides of the neck slightly. Sometimes moving the head around will help this effect. All right, and then hopefully you feel a nice warmth coming into your arms and your shoulders from holding down dog for this long. One last thing, draw your front ribs in, shoulder blades in. Front ribs come in, shoulder blades broaden. So basically what I see a lot too is people will back bend. And this can create tension inside of the shoulder joint because there's a sense of collapsing the shoulder joint. So instead, you're pulling the front ribs in and creating space and strength inside of your shoulders and down dog. Okay, let's go to the next one. Walk up to the top of the mat into forward fold. And you can decide if you want your feet together or hips width. Point the centers of your feet straight forward so your heels are in line with second and third toe. Put more body weight to the balls of the feet and have a little bend in your knees so your spine can hang. And even here, you can let your shoulders hang so there's not tension holding on there. We're gonna do halfway lift a little different than usual. So come into your halfway lift pose, and if you feel like you're still building your stomach strength, use the support of the hands on the shins. But otherwise, a flying halfway lift. Reach your arms back by your sides. Oftentimes I see people have their palms facing up, roll the palms down, and squeeze your shoulder blades together. There might be a temptation to do a back bend here. Instead, front ribs in, abs in. So it's like a flat spine. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, fold over the legs. And on your next inhale, you can come through that halfway lift, so the arms are reaching back, chest forward, and then sweep the arms sideways, up over your head, mountain pose. If you can touch your palms and look up at the thumbs, go ahead. Exhale, join the hands at your heart center. On your next inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs, the swan dive, right? Arms going out to the sides and then arms going to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, arms back, heart forward. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, plant the palms, and step back into upward push-up plank. So, for a long time I was getting pressure, tension behind my shoulder blades, and I asked a teacher about it, Chad Dennis, and he was saying that probably my serratus, the side of, kind of like your rib cage area around the shoulder joint, right about here, that my serratus was weak, and so the backs of my, behind my shoulder blade was taking all the work of chaturanga. So, recommended is to really push the floor away, right? So we can be down here or we can push away, and that's going to help strengthen the serratus and take some pressure out of the behind the shoulder joint. So, if you get that pain, try doing these poses more lifted out of the shoulder joint rather than sinking into it. But if you're not getting that pain, then one of the ways you can do plank is to brighten the chest. You know what I mean? So you're pushing the floor away and you brighten the chest towards the wall you're facing. Now, if the wrists are tender right now, or you're working on the arm strength, use your knees. Shift your shoulders past your wrists, bend the elbows directly above the wrist, lower to the halfway point, chaturanga, and then the rest of the way onto your belly. Point your toes behind you and squeeze your shoulder blades in towards each other. Start to lift up into a low cobra. A lot of times I see people push the floor away. Instead, lift as high as you feel like your back can handle. And then if you want to lift a little higher, you can take your hands and drag back on the floor to help kind of coil your spine up. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower, hover your nose. 3 more times. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Go ahead. Feel the right and left side of your spinal muscles squeezing. Your back is getting stronger. And now a push-up. So if you're on the stronger side, curl your toes under, lift the kneecaps, scoop the tail. If you're still working on the arm strength, use your knees. Come up with a flat spine. Scoop the tailbone under, lift chest and hips at the same time. Downward dog pose. Inhale through your nose. Side out the mouth. Lift your right leg up, hips level to the floor. Come up high onto the ball of your left foot. Hug your right knee into your chest. Push the floor away as slow as you can. Step your foot next to your hand. Soften the back knee down to the floor. Back toes could be tucked or pointed. Tent the fingertips up, brighten the chest, and reach your arms back by your side. It's like wings. Keeping your left hand back, reach your right arm forward. Palms facing the floor. Now, bend your elbows. Have your bone side of the left hand hovering above your low back, and take your right hand hovering behind your skull. Lift the elbows. I got this from Dicey to Klein. And now reach your arms straight again and swirl the arms in a wide circle. So now you're reaching forward with the left hand, back with the right hand. Bend the elbows. Hover the bone side of your right hand above the low back and the palm of the hand behind your skull on the left. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, swing the arms up. Anjaneyasana. Scoop your tailbone under, pull the abdominals in, stretch up. If it's easy, touch the palms with the thumbs. Take an inhale. Exhale, float your hands to the floor and step up to the top of the mat. Line up your feet. Fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Reach back with the fingers, heart goes forward. Exhale, fold, rest your spine down. Inhale, rise to stand, circle the arms up. Exhale, float the hands to the center of the chest, the heart space lifts. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward gently, little bend in the knees. Keep the heels light. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plank pose. If you have sensitive wrists, hold plank like this. Go into child's pose, right? Like this. If you want to build the arm strength, you can use your knees. Shoulders past the wrist, bend the elbows back, lower halfway, chaturanga. Kick the floor with the tops of the feet, lift your thighs, lift your chest, upward dog, or cobra if you prefer cobra. Exhale, pull the belly in, press back, downward dog. Inhale through your nose, side out the mouth. Lift your left leg up, hips level to the floor. Come up high onto the ball of your right foot so your butt's way up in the air. Keep the breath flowing. Hug your knee into your chest. Push the floor weight. Find that space in your shoulder joint, hugging the thigh to the chest, and step the foot as lightly as you can. The slower you move, the more you're going to build your strength and tap into a state of grace. 10 the fingertips up right in the chest and reach your arms back by your sides like wings. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Sweep your left arm around and reach it towards the front. Bend your elbows, hover the hands. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, swim them around. Inhale to reach. Exhale, bend the elbows. Hover the hands, squeeze shoulder blades in. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, come on up, crescent pose. Scoop the tailbone under, pull the abdominals in. If it's not comfortable to touch the palms, keep the arms as wide as is relaxing to your shoulders. Take an inhale to lift the heart. Exhale, float the hands down and step up to the top of the mat. Line up your feet. Inhale, halfway, arms back, chest forward. Exhale, fold, rest the body down. Inhale, rise, mountain pose, your fingers are the feet. Exhale, bring it to your heart. Inhale, send a prayer on up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Okay, now I'm going to start guiding the most difficult vinyasa. Inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, back to chaturanga. Downward facing dog pose. Inhale through the nose. Side out the mouth. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee to the nose. Inhale, hover it above the floor. Exhale, squeeze it back up. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, pull the knee in. Step your foot, right foot next to your right hand. 10 the fingertips up. And now arms come back by your sides like wings. Lunge and crescent pose. Swim your right arm to the front, left arm stays back. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, circle it around. Now you get your left arm forward, right arm back. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, reach it up. Inhale, crescent, stretch. And exhale, warrior two. Pivot the back heel down, line up front heel with the back arch, arms parallel to the floor. Make sure right toes, knee pointing straight forward. Feel for your breath, right? Circulating the breath, circulating the energy of the heart, the fingertips. As you inhale, squeeze your front leg straight, stretch up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, maybe look up. Exhale, warrior two, looking forward. 3 more. Follow the rhythm of your breath, 2. Moving as slow, breathing as slow as you can, last one. Reverse warrior, flip the palm and stretch up and back. So what I commonly see here is people come out of the lunge. If it's okay with your breath, sink back down. Front knee points forward, back leg straight. The other thing I see here is people dump. Pull the belly and lift the heart up. Get your spine as long as possible as it curves back. Maybe both arms frame the head. Hands could be shoulders width apart, nice and wide to open up the chest, the shoulders, or maybe you like how it feels to grip the hands, interlacing the hands, releasing the index, crossing, maybe your right thumb on top so you can keep track and do the left one on the next side. Take an inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, back into warrior two. Squeeze your front leg straight. You can heel toe back foot up as you inhale, reach forward, and exhale, triangle pose, Trikonasana. Now what I commonly see here is people will hunch forward, kind of like this. It would be, I want to say like more correct, but I guess that's the only word that's coming to my mind, to go a little higher on your leg so that you can lean back. And the alignment is that your spine is in line with your back leg. Not in front of it, but also not behind it, right? If you're really flexible, you can kind of lean back and turn this into a back bend. So creating a sense of strength and containment through your center, drawing the abdominals in, drawing the front ribs in, and feeling really long. And then those of you who want that extra work, fly the arms by the hip. Keep moving your calf muscle to your shin on the ball of the front foot, so avoiding hyperextension, mini bend in the knee. For 3, stretching through soft fingers for 2. And now on 1, bend your knee, float your hands down to the floor, hands frame the front foot, squeeze the back leg straight, push down into your left hand, reach your right arm up and take a twist. Take both of your shoulder blades onto your back, push the floor away so you're lifting up out of the left shoulder. Tighten your belly, roll the ribcage open. For the modified pose, you're going to take your left knee down to the floor under your hip joint, swing the right leg back. And if this is still too much pressure, you can use a left fist on the floor. Otherwise, rolling onto the pinky toe side of the left foot, stack your right toes on top of the left toes. Maybe reaching your right arm over your head feels good. Make your body as long as possible. So scoop the tailbone under, pull the abdominals and draw the front ribs in. When you come back to plank, go as slow as you can. Advanced students, hover in this one-armed plank. So you press into your left hand and reach your right arm to the front wall. And then you come onto both hands and decide if you want down dog or a vinyasa. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower with flat hands halfway. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, back to chaturanga. Downward facing dog pose. Feel that warmth in your arms. Inhale through the nose and sigh it out the mouth. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, left knee to the nose. Inhale, hover the leg above the floor. Exhale, squeeze it back up. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, hug your leg in. Step the foot as wide as you can. This time, back leg stays raised. 10 to fingertips, arms back by the side. Squeeze the shoulder blades in. Stretch open the front of the chest. Look at one spot on the floor for your balance. If you feel tension in your hips, scoop the tailbone under, lift your body up off of the legs rather than collapsing the joint. Swim the left arm forward. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows. Hover the hands. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, swing it around. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, come on up. Crescent pose. One more inhale, lift the rib cage. Exhale, warrior two. Adjust your legs. Front toes, knee point forward, back foot points a little forward. Squeeze your back leg straight and bend the front knee a little deeper. Gaze out over your front hand. Take nourishing, full breaths. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, warrior two. 3 more times. Go deep into the breath. Imagine the only thing that's happening is that you're breathing right now. Last one. Keep your warrior two legs, flip the front palm, stretch up and back into reverse warrior. Again, be aware of where your front knee is, so point it straight forward. Be aware of your spine. Can you lift your spine a little taller? Arms can come up by the head, that's harder variation. Maybe you interlace the hands, left thumb on the top. Reach as long as you can with straight arms, and the sides of the neck can soften a little bit. 3, press through the heels. For 2, relax your toes and your face. 1 more breath. Straighten the front leg. Bring your arms to a T. Heel toe, back foot up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, triangle pose. This practice is very challenging, so if you feel like you can't breathe right now, just focus on reclaiming your commitment to your breath, your commitment to yourself, your commitment to your well-being. If you're like, this practice isn't hard, fly your arms by your head. Make it a little more challenging for you so that you can keep that focus and commitment to yourself. Sometimes if the class isn't hard enough, it's hard to focus, right? You start thinking about all the other stuff. And instead, yoga asks us to bring our minds, to call our minds back into our bodies, back onto the breath. 1 more inhale. Exhale, bend your knee. Bring your hands to the floor. Hands frame the front foot. Anchor into the right hand. Lift your left arm up. Twist the spine. Shoulder blades onto the back. Squeeze the back leg straight. Maybe look at your lifted thumb. And so you can think about your mind, right? Your thoughts. Your thoughts are energy. And a lot of times we're thinking so much and we're thinking about really mundane things and wasting mental energy. And so the practice of yoga asks us to first become aware of the mind, to notice all the mundane things we think about, and then to focus on the breath. So to help clear the mind, and then, right, we can act in the world with mental clarity, and we can create things to help heal our world and change our world. Okay, anchor through the right hand, pivot onto the pinky toe side of your right foot. Find your variation of side plank. And what commonly happens here is the chest collapse. It rounds forward. So brighten the chest, push the floor away. Top arm might go over the head, shoulder blades on the back. So there's sense of space in the neck, all 4 sides of the neck long. Maybe you look up towards the ceiling. Keep pressing down with a flat hand. And if you're shaking right now, that's a good sign. You're getting stronger. Slow motion, as slow as you can. Advanced students, 1-armed plank. Push the floor away with the right arm. Reach forward with the left arm. Slowly, no rush. Regular plank. If wrists okay, vinyasa, exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, chaturanga. Downward dog. Inhale through your nose. Sign it out the mouth. All right, here we go. This is going to be the hardest sequence, so just take one breath at a time and listen to your body. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, right knee to the nose. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee to your right tricep. Hold the pose. If you want to arm balance, you bend the elbows, lean forward. Inhale, the leg up and back. Exhale, knee across your body. Hold the pose. If you want to arm balance, bend the elbows, sit on top of the upper arms, lean forward. Inhale, the leg up and back. Exhale, step your right foot next to your right thumb. Tent up on the fingertips. Catch your breath. Really, I need to catch my breath. Okay. And then, arms back. And this time, push into your right leg and stand warrior three on your right leg. Now, if this is too intense for the body, you could always put blocks under your hands or even touch the floor for supported warrior three. But if this is easy for your body, bring your whole body parallel to the floor, squeeze your back leg straight. Front knee can stay bent if it's a little too much on the hamstring. Reach your right arm forward, left arm stays back. Bend the elbows, hover the hands. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, big swim around. Left arm forward, right arm back. Bend the elbows, hover the hands, squeeze shoulder blades in, pull the abdominals in. Straighten the arms, inhale. Exhale, both arms forward. Take an inhale, warrior three with extended arms. Exhale, bend your knee and land in crescent pose. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, warrior two. Line up your legs. Make sure front toes and knee pointing straight forward. Arms parallel to the floor. Just one time, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Squeeze your front leg straight. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, triangle pose. Balancing half moon. Look down at the floor. Bend your right knee. Line up your hand with the pinky toe side of your foot. Slide the back foot up. Slide your hand forward. And then come on up. Have a deep bend in the knees you need to help out the hamstring. Otherwise, leg goes a little straight. If the leg locks out like this, have a mini bend in the knee. So just avoiding a hyperextension and building more strength. Those of you that this feels difficult, look at one spot on the floor and just concentrate on keeping your breath. Those of you that this feels easy, swim your left arm up over your head. And then those of you that this feels really easy, let your right hand get lighter and hover your right arm by your head. For 3, stretch in opposite directions for 2, and then very slowly, with control, land back, warrior two pose. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, hands to the heart and twist. Hook your left elbow on the outside of the right knee. You can also do this with the back knee on the mat. Dig down through your right heel, push out through your left heel. Tighten your lower abdominal muscles, roll the chest open. Any variations, wrapping the arms around the leg, splitting the arms, or holding this pose 3 more breaths. Broaden across the heart space, 2 more breaths. And now you'll take that last breath and float as slow as you can. Float your left hand down, right arm up. Pivot onto the pinky toe side of the left foot. Side plank. And again, as slow as you can, right arm over the head. And this time, touch the floor. Maybe it's like a foot in front of your left hand. Lower your forearm down, spin onto the knife edge of the right foot, and come into Vasisthasana on the forearm, side plank on the forearm. Top arm goes over the head, push the floor away with the length of the forearm. And now you're gonna hover, again, slow motion. Your left hand goes in line with your right elbow, but the shoulders with distance apart, and push onto the left hand and come back into side plank on the left. Top arm reaches up over the head, regular plank pose, and then you decide down dog or vinyasa. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, chaturanga. Downward dog pose. It's a lot, right? Feel for your breath. Give yourself a moment to ground. So feel the hands pushing into the floor. Feel the feet driving towards the earth. Feel the breath moving in and out of your lungs. Deep inhale through the nose and sigh out the mouth. Okay, other side. Inhale, right leg up. Just kidding. Left leg. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left knee to your nose. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left knee to the left tricep. And then maybe you hold it or bend the elbows, lean forward, breathing. When you're ready to inhale again, stretch your toes up. Exhale, knee across the body. And then I like to do the arm balance, so I sort of bend my elbows in, lean forward, push the floor away. As you're ready to inhale, toes go back. Exhale, step the left foot next to your left thumb lightly. Catch your breath. Refocus, so look at one spot on the floor. Like there's a little color of fuchsia on this carpet, so I'm going to stare at that dot of fuchsia. Keep looking at that spot, reach your arms back like airplane wings. Push into your left leg until the right leg levitates and bring your body parallel to the floor. Square your hips as best as you can. Let the body recalibrate the balance. Left arm circles forward, right arm stays back. Inhale, exhale, bend the elbows, hover the hands. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, swing it around. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, both arms reaching forward. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, bend the knee. Crescent. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. All right, adjust the legs. Front knee, toes pointing straight forward. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Take a breath in. Exhale, front leg straight. Heel toe back, foot up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, triangle pose. Balancing half moon, bend your knee, take an inhale. Exhale, come up. Find that new little spot to look at. If this is easy for you, you can look at the side wall or look up at your lifted hand. Top arm can come over your head. Bottom arm, so you get lighter on the left fingertips. Hover the hand, and then reach the arms to frame the head. For 3, straighten your elbows. For 2, are your fingers tense? You can relax them a little bit. One more breath. Slowly come back to warrior two pose. Ground through your feet. Feel the breath. Crescent pose. Arms come up by your ears. Back heel lifted, adjust. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to the heart and twist. Nice deep twist in the body. Push through your back heel. Lengthen the spine forward. Roll the rib cage open. 5 breaths. Just concentrate on breathing in a way that feels good to you. Even though you're working to make this world a better place, you also need to take moments to take care of yourself. And it's not selfish at all, right? You already give so much. And then if you're thinking, well, I don't really give that much, think about what you can give. What little way could you make a difference in this world? And it might be just a 5-minute phone call to somebody who needs it. Okay, now as slow as you can, you're gonna plant your right hand down, left arm up, push in the right hand, put it onto the pinky toe side of the right foot, and come on up. Vasisasana, side plank. Top arm reaches over the head. Sometimes you can get in a nice side stretch here if it feels good. And then slow motion, slow as you can, building the stabilizer muscles in the shoulder joint. You're gonna take your left hand in front of the right hand, lower onto left forearm, tent up on the right fingertips, roll onto the pinky toe side left foot, Vasisasana on the forearm, anchor through the whole forearm, lift up out of the shoulder joint. Top arm goes up over the head, nice side body stretch. Right hand's gonna come in line with the left elbow, shoulders with distance apart. Push yourself back up into side plank, right? Making sure the breath is happening. Arm goes over the head, slowly plank, inhale plank, exhale lower, only halfway, flat palms. Inhale back bend, exhale chaturanga, downward facing dog pose. Okay, soften your knees to the floor, sit back at your heels, feel free to give your wrists a little love. So for this next part, we're gonna do a 2-minute plank. You can do this on your forearms. You can do this with your knees on the floor. Instead of a 2-minute plank, you can do a 2-minute handstand or a 2-minute headstand using the wall. I'm gonna demonstrate a 2-minute forearm plank. This is gonna build strength in your shoulders without stressing the wrists out too much. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get started. Right now, I have my eye on the clock, come into your plank. So, how do you hold something for 2 minutes? It has to be mental clarity, right? Because your mind is gonna say, I can't do this, right? We have a tendency to limit ourselves with our mind. Now, that being said, some people, as they start to explore limiting themselves with their minds, they end up hurting their bodies. So can you find that perfect balance between pushing yourself past your limit without hurting yourself, right? And so for me, I always ask myself, am I safe? And right now for my body, the answer is yes. Like, I'm not gonna hurt myself by doing this. I mean, it's uncomfortable, right? But I'm not injuring myself. So, looking at one spot with the eyes or closing the eyes, and that was our first minute. Keep breathing. There's a guy, I mean, I didn't read the article, I just heard about him. And he held the plank for like a couple days or something like that. So his trick was to make his inhale the same length as his exhale. So do that now. Count how long your inhale is, and then make your exhale the same length. Concentrate on your breath, and concentrate the eyes, right? And you're gonna start to sweat, and it's gonna be uncomfortable. Can you stay one breath longer than your first impulse to come out? 15 more seconds. Tell yourself something positive. You've got this. You are strong enough. Okay, very carefully, lower the knees, lower the hips, Sphinx pose. You feel all that warmth in your arms. So the nerves of the arms connected to the nerves of the heart, strengthening your heart, opening up the heart. We're going to do one more unpleasant strengthening experience. Unless you're the kind of person that loves hard work, then this will be pleasant for you. Okay, but if you're the kind of person, like I would consider myself this kind of person, like I tend to be a little bit more on the lazy side, right? Like I'm a Taurus, so I like being in bed and I like eating, fun foods like donuts and stuff like that. So when I work hard, there's a mental resistance to it. But afterwards, I feel better, so that's why I do it. Okay, reaching your arms forward, wiggling the legs back, lift the chest up. Maybe lift the legs and reach your arms by your head. This one is so unpleasant, right? So how can we make it more pleasant? Focus on the breath. Relax the shoulders a little bit. So your arms can be wide, no problem. And let the back of the neck be long. Like sometimes if I'm looking forward like this, it gets kind of crunchy. Swim the arms back, palms face the floor, draw the shoulder blades in, stretch the chest. You can stay like this, you can interlace the hands, or you can bend your knees and catch hold of your feet. Now, this is a pose you're not going to want to be in for a long time, but it can help build your character. So first, just ask yourself if your spine feels okay. Yeah, my spine feels okay. What about your stomach? It's a little pressure. I ate breakfast, so I'm not going to go that high. But if you were like, my stomach feels okay, spine feels okay, lift your thighs up. Let the chest stretch open. Try to stay here one breath longer than your first impulse to come out. You could look at your cheeks or close the eyes. If you are still having fun, stay here longer. If you're ready to come out, go slow. You can look to one side, or if the neck is sensitive, put one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead on your hands. We've done a continuous flow, and so maybe this is the first time you've taken a break, and allow yourself to slow down. Trust that you did enough work. Turn your head to the other side for an equal neck stretch. And if it feels okay on your body, take a little bit deeper, slower breaths. But because our breath is so closely tied to our emotional state, make sure you're breathing in a way that feels good to you. Because if we force the breath, it can have a unhealthy effect on the mind, right? So really getting quiet, listening to yourself. What do you need right now? Prop yourself up onto your forearms. Take your right knee into a little half frog pose and tuck your left arm underneath your right armpit. So your right knee's bent up, the left arm's underneath, and then roll the body open. If you get confused, just come to laying on your back and bend your right knee across your body. If you love hamstring stretches and you have space in your house, you can squeeze your right leg straight and catch hold of your foot. Maybe you want to bend your back knee and catch hold of the back foot to cat's tail pose. 5 breaths. You can have your head pointed in any direction. Where in your body can you feel tension? What happens if you soften that area? You have fold of your back foot, gently let it go, fold of the top leg, bend it in, roll onto your abdomen again, Sphinx, bend your left knee up, take your right arm, tuck it underneath your left armpit, roll the body open. If your head doesn't touch the floor, try rolling back a little more so you're on both shoulders. You can let the left knee slide in. Or you can put something under your head like a block or a pillow. Some of you have the mobility at this moment that you're going to catch your foot and catch the back foot too. One of the ideas in yoga, and I would say maybe this is more of a modern idea in yoga. If it's not, then put it in the comments, like let me know. But anyways, this idea in yoga that the internal reflects in the external. So what the heck does that mean? Meaning that your relationship with yourself is going to be mirrored in the world around you. So if you find yourself getting into fights with other people, if you find a lot of negative stuff is happening to you, like really look inside of yourself and see, are you treating yourself negatively? Like, are you mean to yourself in your head? Do you constantly expose yourself to negative ideas and film and television and worrying, because the idea is that you're going to attract that kind of thing to you the more that it's in your head. That's like one idea, right? And then people take that and they're like, oh, positive vibes only. And it's like, that's not realistic, positive vibes only, but it is realistic that you could become your best friend. It is realistic that you could stop being mean to yourself. So, and then even, right, a step ahead, it's possible that you could love yourself. And when you start loving yourself, then you can spread more love into the world. It's the true way to give love to the world. All right, that's probably even longer, right, on this side than the first side. So as you're ready, go ahead and push yourself up, all fours position. And take your right arm and tuck it underneath your left armpit. Lay on the side of the head and shoulder. And so especially with what's going on in our society today, right? If you're a white person, then a lot of your beliefs about yourself are being challenged. And this is amazing. Like, I can only speak for myself, but like I was in a cocoon and I had no awareness. And then as my awareness started being provoked, right, it was uncomfortable. But can I love myself when I'm wrong? Can I love myself even though like I have unconsciously committed a sort of disservice, or even like some folks say like a crime against other people? And how can I then, with my knowledge, make it right? If I get stuck in wanting to defend myself, then I can't make the repairs that I need to on my relationship with society. All right, so coming into the all fours, and then take your left arm under your right and get in a nice shoulder stretch. And then for those, that don't resonate or aren't white, right? Like how can you treat yourself well in this time when you're probably being bothered by a lot of people? And do you want to communicate or do you want to be quiet? And you have that right. You don't have to, you don't need me to tell you this, but, right, you can take these yoga classes and just treat yourself well and nourish yourself with a breath and, and hope that other people are moving out of their ignorance. And I just want you to know that if I ever say anything that troubles you, like, please let me know. Feel free to call me out on my ignorance and help me be a better person, a better teacher. All right, all fours position. How long is this one? This is a long class, right? Because I'm rambling. All right, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, roll open the hip. If you're a back bendy person and you're like, where was my Urdhva Dhanurasana? Then you can flip the dog, reach over, maybe touch the floor, right? Get in a nice stretch. Flip yourself back over. Three-legged dog, inhale, and exhale, half pigeon pose. Lowering down and resting. Having self-love and humility are not mutually exclusive. In fact, self-love probably makes humility easier and less painful. And one of the best ways to show self-love is to listen. Listen to your breath. Listen to your body. Respect your body. Respect your breath. Respect yourself. Make any transition onto your second side, right? If you're like, that wasn't enough arm strength for me, throw in a couple push-ups. Keep the belly tight when you're doing those so your low back is supported. Downward dog, lifting up the left leg, bending the knee, rolling up the hip, getting in a nice stretch, flipping the dog maybe, could turn it into Urdhva, maybe not. As you're ready, kick it back over, down dog splits, inhale, and exhale, half pigeon pose. If this is too much on your knees, and I should have said this on the first side, you can come to laying on your back, figure four shape. If you're like, what the heck does that look like? It's like this one. Resting the head. Show yourself that love, that compassion. Soften the shoulders. Relax the head, relax your jaw. Breathing well. Take your time when you're ready to come out. Any transition. And eventually bring your legs out in front of you. Walk your hips back, right and left, so you can tip your pelvis forward. Inhale, reach up through your arms. And exhale, hinge the pelvis, stretch forward, stretching the back line of the legs, your low back. You can relax your head. Deep breaths. And I hope if you consider yourself a person of color and you're taking my class, I hope that you feel seen by me and heard by me, and I hope that you do feel comfortable taking my yoga class. Yeah, that's my desire, because I do envision a world where we can have social justice and equanimity. That's really the purpose of yoga, right? Is that we can see what's right and we can do what's right. One more breath. And then slowly roll yourself up. Scoot your hips up to the mat. Reach forward. Roll down slow until you're laying on your back. And maybe you want to take a butterfly or a happy baby to help settle your body. And as you're ready, come into deep relaxation, Shavasana pose. So we did a lot of work on the arms. You can lift your chest up, tuck the shoulder blades onto the back, opening up the chest. Hands could be palms up or bring your hands onto your body. And perhaps the most important thing we can do in the yoga practice is this pose, where we find stillness in the body, where we can slow things down enough to start to heal. Where the tensions can soften out of the body. If you have the time, put on a song that you love and lay here for the length of the song. I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. I hope that you love yourself, and I hope that you have the clarity to know what the right thing for you to do is to be a helpful citizen in the society, and then also to help yourself, to treat yourself with kindness. And again, let me know if you have any questions. You can reach out to me. If you have feedback for me, if I said something offensive, if I said something that wasn't correct, or you can just tell there's probably something I need to know, please feel comfortable to tell me if you're inspired to. All right. All the love and blessings. Thank you for taking this class.